The entire Pokémon universe is built on a single, inescapable rule: adapt, grow, and transform. You catch a creature, you train it, and eventually it mutates into a larger, far more dangerous version of itself. If you played the original Game Boy titles, evolution was a strict mechanical requirement. To survive the later stages of the game, players were essentially forced to trigger these physical upgrades to increase their roster's combat power. Yet the most famous character in the entire franchise flatly refuses to participate in this system. When offered a Thunderstone, the specific item required to turn him into the much stronger Raichu, Ash's Pikachu explicitly rejects it. In the video games, making this choice carries a heavy penalty. A player keeping a Pikachu accepts permanently lower base stats, relying entirely on a specific held item called a Light Ball, just to keep its attack power viable in competitive play. We have a multi-billion-dollar empire built on the concept of continuous evolution, yet its mascot is a character defined by a complete refusal to change. The anime establishes a very specific reason for this refusal. Within the show's fiction, evolution is a total overhaul. It reconfigures a creature's personality alongside its physical shape. Take Ash's Charmander. It starts out as a loyal, affectionate companion, but the moment it evolves into Charmeleon, it becomes an arrogant, disobedient brute that treats the trainer who saved its life like garbage. Pikachu watched that shift happen to a close friend in real time. The show implies that this trauma instilled a deep fear of what he might become and who he might hurt if he allowed his own code to be rewritten. By refusing the Thunderstone, Pikachu sacrifices raw, destructive power to protect his own identity and preserve his bond with his trainer. But this touching in-universe narrative covers up a highly calculated real-world corporate strategy. When Nintendo brought the games to television, Pikachu was never the original choice for the lead. Originally, producers planned to use the pink Clefairy as the main companion. They ultimately swapped it for Pikachu to create a character with a broader, gender-neutral appeal that could work for a global audience. This diagram breaks down how Pikachu was visually engineered to stand out. Utilizing a primary yellow makes the character instantly recognizable to children. There was a distinct market advantage here. Nintendo realized they only had one other major yellow character to compete with. That competitor was Winnie the Pooh. Aside from the Disney bear, the yellow mascot space was completely wide open. Through these precise visual choices, Nintendo engineered a mascot capable of crossing international borders and standing out in a crowded, competitive market. The original script actually called for Pikachu to slowly learn Japanese, eventually speaking to Ash in full sentences, much like a human child learning to talk. The producers reversed that decision. They hired voice actress Ikue Otani, who communicated the character's emotional spectrum using only variations of the character's name, delivered in pet-like tones. Scholars refer to this practice as deodorization, the deliberate removal of specific national or cultural markers from a commercial product so it can easily assimilate into foreign markets. Look at these children holding their trading cards. Because Pikachu never spoke Japanese, localizers never had to dub his lines. The character sounded exactly the same on television in Tokyo as he did in New York, Paris, or Tel Aviv. By stripping away language barriers, the creators allowed global audiences to project their own understanding onto the character, replicating the universal experience of bonding with a family pet. Over the last 25 years, the Pokémon universe has expanded to include over 1,000 unique creatures spread across 9 different fictional regions. Eventually, the television series took its biggest leap yet, permanently retiring Ash Ketchum and closing the book on a quarter-century of storytelling. Yet, when the new Pokémon Horizon series debuted, the creators immediately introduced a character named Captain Pikachu to fly the ship. Pikachu's deliberate, unchanging stasis acts as a strategic anchor. By keeping the mascot identical for 3 decades, the creators ensure that no matter how many new creatures or protagonists are introduced, the franchise never loses its core recognizable identity.